Day 2 of the Under-23 National Championships. A big clash between Queensland and East Texas Baptist University. Second day on the tournament. Already teams have started to play 3-4 games into it. Standings starting to shape up, and every game seems to become more important than the last. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eric Baldner, joined by James Harris and Lee Hull. Fellas, this is an interesting one. On a broadcast, we get to watch our guests from East Texas Baptist University.
Yeah, fantastic to see the guests in a different format for a national championship. The Under-23 event allows for guest teams to come and play. So they're not the first university team to come over and play in this event, but the first time we're seeing one, East Texas. Good to be here, Lee.
Yes, certainly is, and I have never been to Texas. Have you, James? I've been to the US 3 times, but not Texas.
A stop-off in Houston.
Houston.
East Texas certainly have been turning some heads. They haven't lost a game yet this tournament, and they have been smashing the cover off the softball left, right, and center.
They hit the ball hard. I saw them in their first game, and they really hit the ball hard and often.
Hannah R. Kelly, the starting pitcher, she pitches the first pitch of the game into Harari Kurihara, who's taking the leadoff spot for Queensland. Queensland sitting at 3 wins and 1 loss. It's a talented lineup that has a few reigning champions from the tournament 6 months earlier, where they won the whole shebang, and a lot of those players also played in the Open Women's Championship as well. Ball rides up inside.
This is the first time that we're seeing Kelly, pitcher for East Texas. They've played 2 games and they've used 3 pitches so far. So I wonder how deep their pitching staff goes.
Yes, that'll be interesting. That'll unfold as the week, our 5-day event goes on.
Not eligible for finals, so they'll only play a single round of this double round robin event.
And a swing and a miss for Harari Kurihara, so Kelly off to a very nice start.
Now, just for those who don't know, the East Texas team aren't eligible to win the tournament. However, all the results that are played against East Texas count. So you want to keep the runs against down, and if you can pick up a win against the Americans, well, that's a bonus for you because they've beaten WA and SA so far.
That's an excellent point you made, James. That would clarify the situation for a lot of people.
It's been a run scorers tournament so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's been some big scores, and the winning scores, you can't just score 3 or 4 runs anymore and expect to win a game. You've got to score 8 to 10.
Kiana Hanare fouls one away. She's playing right field. Lee, as the ball gets tossed back to Hannah Kelly, take us around the diamond.
I will, as soon as this batter's finished.
All right, well.
Calling the shots now, Eric.
Well, I guess thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next week. Reaching out for a pitch, and it's poked right out the middle. Kiana Hanare, the first hit of the ball game and the first base runner.
So the battery is Hannah R. Kelly pitching to Brady Glenn. First base, Sydney Green. Second, Delaney Lawyer. Third, Torren Cummings. Shortstop, Tristan Maddox. Outfield left to right, Emma Overla. Braylon Buchanan and Hannah A. Kelly. So 2 Kellys, Hannah A. and Hannah R.
There's not just 2 Kellys, there's 2 Hannah Kellys.
Yes, that's right. 2 Hannah Kellys, 1 A, 1 R.
Brooke Stewart's the batter in the box, and our South Australian viewers will remember that Brooke played for SA in the Under-23s just 7 months ago.
Yep. Just seems like yesterday, doesn't it, James?
She's made an impact. She's had hits in a few of her games so far. She was 1 for 3 in the early contest today. She lays down a bunt. Advancing over towards second is Kiana Hanare, and that throw has gone wayward. So Queensland with 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Stewart laying down the bunt, advancing the runner safely, and then she gets a bonus base on the overthrow. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay.
Just rode up to bat, another one that has some experience playing in the Open Women's and the Under-23s. one of the more experienced players in terms of competition she's had to face, gets an excellent opportunity to anchor the middle of the lineup of this Queensland team. Queensland side that you would expect should be in the mix for a title at the end of this tournament.
Yes, as they've got some excellent players in their team for sure. This girl's the DP. Wow, and that's why.
It hasn't been easy for Queensland, though. Yes, they have a nice 3-1 record, but even yesterday versus South Australia, they were down for most of the game until they exploded late to mercy them.
Yeah, it was 6-0, and then Queensland went 13 unanswered runs to win in 6.
Hannah R. Kelly trying to fill the zone back up.
And it was the former South Australian Brooke Stewart that did the damage.
Up in the air. Torrin Cummings calls everybody up, makes the play, and with 2 outs now, still 2 runners in scoring position, so that's exactly kind of the out that Hannah R. Kelly would be looking for in the mound. Pinch runner coming in.
For the catcher, Stewart.
For the catcher, yeah.
I just mentioned Stewart did the damage in yesterday's game against SA. 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, scored 2 runs.
Is that good?
Great batting, isn't it? Great team stuff.
Hannah Leggett.
Another Hannah.
Hannah Kelly, Hannah Leggett, Hannah R. Kelly. There's a Savannah.
We're going to have some guests from East Texas Baptist University join us in commentary a little later on. We might have to ask them about the 2 Hannahs. And hello to anyone who is watching from East Texas today. Be early morning over there.
Yeah, it'd be
late at night.
Late at night, yeah. Be about 11 at night.
It's a beautiful name, Christian name, Hannah, for sure.
You wouldn't happen to have a daughter named Hannah, would you, Lee?
I would have to think about that for a while, yes.
Swing and a miss for Hannah Leggett.
I won't tell Sophie that she's your favourite.
Sophie will be watching this from Victoria. Sophie's a beautiful name too.
Check swing on a pitch up high.
Well,
Lays off of it, he gets up the count.
I also think the name Jordan's a rather lovely name too for a young mother.
It's a beautiful name. So's Maeve.
Eric's not contributing here, is he?
Back to the action, an Eastern Ghost in the left-handed box. In the hands of Leggett. Hottest bat on the market.
Eastern Ghost.
And comes with a price. About how much would they be?
You pay for quality, Lee.
Oh, that's true. So I'm expecting a check of large numbers.
What a patient at bat from Hannah Leggett. It loads up the bases, and already Queensland have a chance to strike early. And it's going to be Savannah Ritter who will come to the plate. Powerful bat. Queensland's lineup top to bottom seems to be able to inflict some damage.
Well, they've won the last 2 under-23 women's titles. So this could be a massive game. Queensland only dropped the 1 game so far in the tournament. It was an earlier game against New South Wales. And as you mentioned, Eric, East Texas Baptist are 2-0.
Well, it would certainly put them back to the pack a little bit. South Australia and Queensland and New South Wales, they have a bit of a love triangle situation going on here because SA beat Queensland, or Queensland beat SA beat New South Wales, and New South Wales beat Queensland. And SA lost to ETB, so if Queensland can win this game, that might be the difference maker in determining who finishes top 2 and plays in the 1-2 game on Sunday.
Yeah, very good point.
Slashed over towards right field. It's looking foul. Charging onto it was Sydney Green, and that just out of her reach.
I saw the SA coach, Ben Lucas, late last night, the 8 o'clock game, of course, after the 8 o'clock game, and he said we should have won that game against Queensland. He said that they just overpowered them in the end, and they didn't help themselves out in the field. So SA a bit dirtier that they dropped that game.
Swing and a miss, so Hannah R. Kelly gets into a bases-loaded jam, but pitches her way out of it.
Excellent effort, wasn't it, from Hannah?
Do we call her R. Kelly? I think that name's already taken.
Yeah, we can't call her R. Kelly. I don't know if I'd love to be called R. Kelly.
No. My apologies.
We'll call her just Hannah R. Kelly. I like it. It's dignified. ETB will come up to bat. Their batting order: Tristan Maddox, Delaney Loya, Torrin Cummings, Ashley Croft, Sydney Green, Hannah A. Kelly, Emma Overla, Brady Glenn, and Braylon Buchanan. The DP is Ashley Croft. She'll sit right in the middle of the lineup. Lead defensively, Queensland. How do they look?
Yes, just a moment, I was distracted then.
By Hall of Famer, no less.
Yes, I know. Okay, so Queensland in the field. It's Emily Solomon pitching to Brooke Stewart. First base, Siren Letitia. Second base, Harari Kurahara. Third base is Savannah Ritter. At shortstop, Taylor Evans. And then the outfield at left field, it's Kiana Hanari. At centre field, it's Hannah Leggett. And at right field, it's Tanika Harris. And they have a DP, which is Jessica Rowe.
Emily Solomon was someone that the country got familiar with during the Open Women's National Championship back in May. She pitched some valuable innings for Queensland in that time, and she was pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a handful of the Queensland players back again to defend their title, and she's one of them. Very impressive. She gets to shoulder the load, though, because she had some great assistance from the player who won the pitcher of the tournament,
Chelsea Zunker.
Yep, who is a notable absent from both the 23s and the Queensland Open Women's team this year.
First pitch swinging right over to short. Taylor Evans, one down.
Yeah, interesting for the lead-off to go first pitch. Tristan went 1 for 4 in her game against South Australia, an important RBI. And a good play as well from Evans at shortstop.
It's a fair point you raised in about going the first pitch. You think you'd have a look at this girl, unless you've seen her before many times. She's in the action again.
Yeah, Delaney Loya grounds over there. So 2 quick ground outs. East Texas, we've seen them swing a hot stick throughout the tournament. They've been aggressive, and it's no different today. They're going after pitches early. If the strike's there for the taking, they seem to like to attack. 2-6-3 putouts to start the game. Taylor Evans has to be so sure-handed. She was. You see it on the Eastern replay. Torrin Cummings again, a first pitch swing right to left field. It's called safe. A great effort from Kiana Hanari. I do think that ball dropped right in front, but it was a great effort.
We don't have too much on the girls from East Texas except for a couple of the games that they've already played. And I can tell you that Cummings was on fire against South Australia. She went 1 for 1 with 3 walks in the game, and what have we faced? 3 pitches in this game so far? All action.
Again, another first pitch swing, and it's right to center field. So 4 pitches.
4 plays.
2 outs, 2 base hits. They're wasting no time.
I saw Delaney Loya hit a line drive that hit left field on the fence in the first game of this tournament. It was absolutely going like a bullet.
Now, would this be a conversation that they're having out there in the circle now, saying, hey, look, they're swinging at first pitches? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have gone out. I would have had a chat to the pitcher, and I said, doesn't matter where this one goes, just get it out of the strike zone.
Yep.
Yeah. See what they do. Sydney Green out to bat. And again, a ball. So that was probably the most predictable thing we could have seen all game long.
East Texas were trailing WA earlier in the day 3-0, and in a 6th inning blast of 5 runs to win it 6-3. They had 9 hits in that game.
Ball in the dirt, both runners are going to advance. Just like Queensland, they have runners on second and third in scoring position with only 2 out. Pitch riding high, so a 3-0 count. Queensland had their chances with bases loaded and 2 out, 1 pitch away from being in the same position. Hannah A. Kelly stands on deck.
Yeah, had a hit against South Australia. From 1 at bat and was on the bench. Very long bench, haven't they? I think how many they bring over, Lee? 30 players. Yeah. Only 16 eligible play in each game.
So they have a different team almost every game. Bases juiced. Some good spirit happening in the dugout, though. They're singing, they're clapping.
And both the number 5 hitters for both sides have got the base on balls. Interesting, isn't it?
To load the bases.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Hannah A. Kelly can do. Queensland couldn't convert their bases loaded opportunity. Pitch up high for Hannah A. Kelly.
We'll bring you some updates throughout the game when we can get them. The game on Diamond 2 at the moment is Western Australia versus South Australia. So both teams in a back-to-back doubleheader. Queensland, WA, 3rd game of the day.
And it's 3:30 local time. So they're going back to back to back.
Yeah, and that ACT WA game that they've just finished was a blowout.
Kelly in the air, caught by Sullivan. Both teams loading the bases. Both teams leaving them all stranded. So
well, I'm not surprised. I said it before. These are 2 of the top teams in the competition. So offensively, you're going to see some big hits, but defensively, you're going to expect some good plays as well. So it's not surprising to see it at the end of the first 0-all.
Gets rid of the nerves, doesn't it? Swinging the bat, making good contact.
Not only 0-all, but they both took 6 to the plate as well.
Yep.
3 base runners apiece.
Mirror images of each other.
So that game I was just mentioning, WA's 2nd game of the day, 20-5 in 3 innings. When WA were leading 4-2 after the top of the 2nd, ACT put 7 on in the bottom of the 2nd, and then 11 in the bottom of the 3rd to win it 20-5.
So ACT moved to 1-3, WA moved to 0-4. As soon as these teams have played their 5th game, it means they're 1 time through the lineup. They still have to go through all the teams once again. It's a 10-game minor round.
Yeah. Well, it's important at the end of the 1st round. So there's 2 rounds of play after the 1st round. If you can't complete the 2nd round, they'll go by the standings at the end of the 1st round to determine positioning for the finals.
Leading things off, Taylor Harris. Taylor Evans, rather, knocks it foul. Evans, Harris are the first 2 batters, and Siren Letizia. Then we turn it back over to the top of the lineup. Ball down in the dirt. And we're going to be joined by our first guest of the broadcast, all the way from Texas, the athletic director who makes the trip as well. That's a good deal for you, Mr. Ryan Irwin, as you join us in the broadcast booth, the athletic director of East Texas Baptist University. You had to score a cool trip to Australia.
No doubt. It's a great experience we've had so far, and excited to be here and take in some great competition.
So how did this conversation start about you even coming to Australia as Tanika Harris comes up to bat?
Yeah, so we started something we call the Tiger Athletic Mission Experience back in 2016. Our goal was to take every team once every 4 years on an international mission trip. And softball went first in 2016 to Costa Rica. And so we got a little off for our 4-year cycle with COVID-19 like everything else, but started back this summer, took our golf team to Scotland in June, and started looking for a place for a softball team to go, and connected with Sports Missions out of the United States and the International Sports Federation that had a contact here in Australia that knew about the under-23 tournament.
Come on, that is an unbelievable experience for some of these athletes.
No doubt, it's a huge recruiting advantage we have from going through this process and telling potential recruits that are choosing their college of choice about an opportunity to travel internationally and play the sport they love is pretty unique.
Meanwhile, Tanika Harris strikes out. That's Hannah R. Kelly's 4th strikeout of the game already. She had the bases loaded in the first, got the strikeout to end the side, so East Texas looking all right. Siren Letizia rounds out the order for Queensland. So how long is the trip? Like, when does everybody fly in? When do they fly out?
So the 38 of us flew in. We got in to Sydney on, I think it's all running together now, Sunday night late.
Yeah.
And then flew down to, I guess Monday around lunch. Got in to Sydney and then flew down here to Adelaide on Tuesday just in time for the tournament. But we actually left Texas Friday, Texas time. So it was
you missed
about
a day.
50-hour flight. We went the long way.
Boy.
Where'd you go? Dubai? Or?
We went to Manchester.
Oh, my.
Ran into a snowstorm, so got delayed there, missed our connection. Then went to Singapore, and then Singapore here. So when you're buying 41 flights, yeah, we got to go on a budget.
Big question is, are you tired?
No, I got enough sleep on the plane. I'm acclimated. Now going back home for Christmas may be a little different.
When you say it's an international tour, you're getting the world tour out here.
No doubt about it. We actually had 3 that flew in on Sunday, or left Texas on Sunday and got here Wednesday morning. 2 graduated in December, our December graduation. So graduated with an undergraduate degree and got on a plane and came across the world to play some softball.
Fantastic, isn't it? Fantastic experience. You can't buy things like that.
No, sir, that's great.
And when's the softball season normally in terms of this tournament? Where does it fit in the Tigers season?
Yeah, so we finished classes last Thursday, which would have been the 8th, December 8th. They're home until January 9th when we start classes, and they'll start practicing January 15th with the season starting February 1st.
So this is basically a preseason opportunity for them.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So coaching staff will be probably closely evaluating, I guess, not just how these athletes are playing on the field, but I guess how they carry themselves outside of all of that to represent the Tigers the best they can.
Absolutely. We got big plans going into the year. The last few years we've been very fortunate to be ranked in the top 20 in the country for NCAA Division III. Made the NCAA tournament postseason for 9 straight years, and actually our campus was selected to host the 2023 NCAA Division III National Championship. So hopefully we're playing it. Hope it's a home game for us come June.
So softball is very much ingrained in the school culture.
Yes, sir. They won our first national championship in 2010 and really built upon that. We've got Field of the Year, invested a lot of significant dollars from the university into the facility, clubhouse, the locker room, the field, and all that for the team. So it's definitely been our flagship sport and really helped promote the university and the athletic department as a whole.
Back to the top of the lineup, Harari Kurihara is up to bat. There are some Australians that get to come over and play in all levels of softball in collegiate America, including NCAA Division III. Kurihara takes the pitch. Come across a few Aussies around in Texas at all?
We do. We have a lot of junior colleges in the state of Texas, and there seems to be a good connection with the junior colleges in Texas that have some Australian baseball and softball players there. I know one of our players transferred from a junior college, actually is friends with one of the girls, I think, on the team we played this morning. They played together. So a lot of good opportunities in the state of Texas, big state, with a lot of great softball and baseball opportunities.
Meanwhile, Tristan Maddox charges on and makes a great play across the diamond to end Queensland batting here in the top of the second. The score remains 0-0. Hannah R. Kelly ticking along with 4 strikeouts so far. So where is East Baptist University in relation to some of maybe the bigger cities that Australians would know?
Yes.
And we only really know like Houston,
Dallas.
and Dallas.
Yeah, so we're
Maybe Austin.
yeah, 2 hours directly east of Dallas, from downtown Dallas, and about 3.5 hours north of Houston, right on the Texas and Louisiana border. So
Right.
We're 25 minutes from the Louisiana border. So great location for us, rural area. Great college campus.
So that's football, baseball, and softball country.
It is. We've got actually 27 sports on campus. We got 2 ice hockey teams.
Whoa, really?
We got a bass fishing team.
A bass fishing team.
You bet. You bet.
And
That's
Austin is the sister city to Adelaide.
Yeah, the sister city. We're
How's that
about
for-
4 hours from Austin.
Yeah, oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? You know,
What?
we hear about these places. We've always heard for the day I was at primary school how big Texas was. That's what they used to tell us. The USA is centered around Texas. So can you deny that, or can
No,
you
it's,
follow that?
you know, we've got a big state, a lot of long road trips. We're on the eastern side. To get to the west side of El Paso, it's about a 12-hour bus ride.
Gee.
And you're still
Yeah.
still in the state of Texas. So
Right.
lays out like some parts of Australia, I guess.
Emma Overla knocks it away. This fouled. She leads things off. Brady Glenn and Braylon Buchanan also due up. So it's all the way on the east side. 12 hours to go across the state. How many students are at the school?
We have just over 1,700 students. That's undergrad and graduate.
And 27 sports for the 7. What?
Yeah, it's about 40% of our student population are athletes. So it keeps us busy, but a lot of great growth within the university the last few years because of athletics and some other key components that the university has done. So it's an exciting time to be a ETBU Tiger and a lot to build on.
Overlet taking away. It was an aggressive approach from East Texas in the first inning. The first 4 batters, they swang at the first pitch. Foul, or knocked into fair territory, goes right over the head of Savannah Ritter. Overla has a look at second. She'll retreat and stand back on first. So a leadoff single. It's the first time ETBU have had a chance to do that in this game so far. And where are you staying when you're here in Adelaide?
We're actually staying over at the Holiday Park.
Yeah, it's a good spot. We've
Yeah.
had a lot of international teams stay there. Japanese teams, softball and baseball as well.
Yeah, so it's been good. The girls seem to like it there. A little different than some we've had, and you know, it's a great opportunity for them to come and experience Australia, but also see different parts of the world. So it's been great softball as well.
Savannah Ritter, a really nice grab. Had to be careful over at first, Emma Overla. She had to dive back in there, but you take a look at the Easton replay, charging right onto it. Savannah Ritter keeps a run off the board. Braylon Buchanan, the next batter. That'll round out the lineup. 30 different players come in, and only 16 are allowed to be on an individual game, so I'm sure the roster is pretty well juggled and set before.
It is that, you know, there's a few differences from playing NCAA Division III softball and the rules we follow compared to the softball Australia. So that was something that kind of threw us for a loop early on. Only have been able to have 16 active on the roster, but they can change every game. So we've been able to work in and get a lot of girls from different reps and some different action. So it's great.
Anybody seeing you that far away from home, anybody you'd like to say hi to?
Well, we've got a whole group. It's 10:30 p.m. Back in Texas, still on Wednesday. So they're getting probably a lot of our fans are in bed, but I know we've got a lot of parents that are watching. We've been putting it on Facebook. So we appreciate everyone that's helped us get here. It was a long road planning this trip and getting the girls on board, and a lot of finances have been donated. A lot of great donors and supporters of the program, and ETBU softball and our student athletes, and appreciate their prayers as well. We've been able to do some awesome ministry activities. Yesterday after the game, we went up to Hills Church and worked with the after-school program. Tomorrow we're doing a Christmas program and a live nativity scene, and then headed back to Sydney for the weekend, and we'll attend Hillsong Church and do some community service activities on Monday. And so really great opportunity. One of the favorite parts of my job is to be able to travel internationally with our student athletes. This is the 10th trip I've been on with TAME, our Tiger Athletic Mission Experience, and 14th overall as a department. To be able to take our student athletes out of their comfort zone and use their God-given talents and abilities to to mentor and to share their faith with others.
Over to right field, it drops in front. It's going to load the bases for the second time today. No, I was going to ask you about that, like the activities that you would have had planned. How do you make contact with, like, what's the connection in the hills? Where are you going to, or where are you going tomorrow, for instance, for the nativity scene on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the.
Is that up in Lowethal?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
so I've heard great things about that.
It's an interesting one, right? Well, I guess you're from Texas, so maybe it's a similar thing. I'm from Canada, so I'm used to all the winter lights and everything there. But Lowethal, the entire town decks themselves out in Christmas lights. And it hasn't been on for the last couple of years because of COVID. And yeah, you walk down the street, they have lights everywhere. They have a big festivity going on, and yeah, the live nativity scene is it's a famous one. They run a couple of
You don't want to miss it, mate.
That's great. We're helping set up for it and serve some different booths, and then they asked us to sing in the choir for a few of the
singers
Christmas
in the group.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we got a few, not me. But yeah, we're really looking forward to that, and the connections just kind of happened. We had some things set up and they kind of fell through. In the last week or two, we kind of scrambled, and I reached out.
Delaney Loya, a great diving play by Taylor Evans, guns down the runner at home. That was quick. It had to be perfect, but Taylor Evans dives to her right, gets the lead runner, and Emma Overlaw, who had to go. You'll see it on the Easton replay. I don't even think she was fully standing up when she delivered that ball back to home plate. That will be one of the plays of the game, no doubt.
Outstanding if it wasn't.
Yeah, great play, great throw. Home getter.
Oh, how quick did that have to be? What's your sporting background? What did you play?
Baseball. I grew up playing baseball. So then got into hockey in college, but really involved in baseball as a kid. And like I was saying, the service opportunities kind of fell into place. I have my college roommate, sister, actually lives here in Adelaide. So when our other stuff fell through, I reached out to her, and she connected us with Hills Church and a couple other opportunities. So really excited about that. And then we had some stuff set up in Sydney we're going to do Sunday, Monday before we head back home on Tuesday for Christmas.
What a great week in Australia for this team from ETBU. So now 2 outs on the board, cracked over towards center field. It's right all the way back, and a nice job from Hannah Leggett to track it down. For the second straight inning, ETBU load the bases, but a highlight reel play from Taylor Evans, and now a nice play from Hannah Leggett. And both these teams getting runners on base, nobody able to score. We've played 2. We're sitting with Mr. AD over here, the athletic director. How long have you been involved as the athletic director, or at ETBU in general?
I came in August of 2016, so into the 6th year. I've been here 6 years, working the 7th year. So it's been great. When I got to ETBU, we had about 250 student athletes. And this past fall, we had over 650. So a big part of our growth has been new sports and roster expansion. And I think our team program has really helped with that. When you can recruit a student athlete that's a high level and tell them you can come and play for ETBU and play on some great facilities and get a great education, but as well as be able to travel the world with your team, it's a game changer.
Yeah, I love that international program. So all the sports get an opportunity to do international, or just some of them?
We've up to date, every team that we've had has traveled except for football.
It's a bit harder to do that too, because it's not the same sort of international. I'm a football guy, but
yeah, it's tough to find the competition for one. Also, it's a large group. We'd probably travel with 70 or 80 guys.
Yeah, and equipment.
Equipment gets there. So we actually had a plan to Scotland for August of 2020 before COVID had to cancel it. So we haven't been able to get it back on the schedule. But really, really unique opportunity. We've been to China, to Serbia, Japan. We've been, now here in Australia, Scotland, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala. So it's a great opportunity for our girls and all of our student athletes. And we're taking our men's soccer team to Portugal and Spain over spring break in March.
Wow.
And then our women's basketball team will travel to Northern Ireland in May. And then our women's soccer will be coming to New Zealand for the World Cup.
Kiana Hanari, if you ever want the ice hockey connection, I got the connections around the country here. They're going out here. They play it.
Do they?
A really nice play. Tristan Maddox makes it across the diamond. That's the second play that Tristan Maddox had to make in a row. She retired Harari Kurara on a nice play. Now she gets Hanare. Yeah, they're ice hockey players in Australia as well.
That's great. We took our hockey team in 2019 to Slovakia and played. We have 2 hockey teams on campus, about 55 players total, and 10 or 12 Canadian players on the team. So it's been a great international recruiting tool, and these trips have opened up doors to continue to recruit internationally for all of our university, not just athletics.
I mean, Australians love their sport. They'll watch paint dry if they tell you it's a race to which one finishes first. They love it. It'll be a fun weekend. This weekend, it's kind of a festival of diamond sports. You've got, obviously, this tournament going on. On Saturday, there's the local competition that's playing as well. And then starting Friday night, tomorrow night, the Adelaide Giants in the Australian Baseball League take their 12-game record win streak. Cracked up the middle. Brooke Stewart played for South Australia in the last tournament. Now she's on base. Both teams looking for a run. Yeah, the Australian Baseball League games happening just right, 40 feet from where you're standing. So it's going to be a big week, I'm pretty sure.
That's great. We saw them taking batting practice this morning, and excited to be able to catch a little glimpse of that between our games tomorrow.
Just didn't feel like going out and having a throw with the balls.
I thought about it. I brought my glove with me, but hadn't made it out there yet.
Jessica Road, deep left field, back to the wall. It is just in front of the wall. One run is going to score the biggest hit of the ball game. The cleanup hitter, Jessica Road, almost puts it out of the park. Brooke Stewart scores, and Queensland strike first.
That's why she's batting as a DP, obviously.
That ball was smoked. A good-looking swing from Jessica Road. Had some experience with the senior Queensland team and getting it done with the under-23, so it is a 1-0 game for Queensland. East Texas have had the bases loaded twice. They're pressuring, haven't quite knocked the door yet. Although East Texas we've seen come from behind a couple times already in this tournament.
We have.
Big swing from Hannah Leggett.
Huge swing, wasn't it, from Hannah?
2 Hannah Kellys on the team. What are the odds?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Trying to keep, probably got to throw in the middle initial now to keep them straight. Hannah Kelly, the pitcher, been here for a couple years and been an anchor in our pitching staff. And then Hannah A. Kelly, call her Hack, is out in right field today, and a freshman just came in this year. So both great students and great student athletes. We're happy to have.
Yeah, I think we'll keep you here for when East Texas come up to bat, because we obviously were chatting a little bit in the last time up, but we'd love to hear some more stories and background about if you know any little tidbits about who they are when they come up here. We'll roll that on out there. James Harris also still hanging around. What's up, James? Savannah Ritter takes the plate.
Yeah, don't like taking Lee's headset because it's molded to the odd-shaped head of his, but he's graciously given up his seat. How's the softball been so far in this game, or this week so far? You must have an impression on how well it's going.
Yeah, it's been great. You never know what you're going to get when you travel internationally and play groups that we haven't seen. We were familiar with a few players on a few of the teams, like I said, that have played junior college ball and back in Texas, but as a whole, weren't sure what to expect. Knew there'd be some rule differences the coaching staff would have to get into, and really haven't played any games with this group of girls. We finished up last May and lost a few players that graduated and moved on, and then brought in a class of freshmen. So they had a fall practice and a couple of scrimmages, but to play some real games and competition, we haven't been able to do that.
And what do you know of your competition? Did you watch any of the tape from the early in the year tournament in the under 23s that we had, or you just come in blind to who you're coming up against?
Yeah, I think the coaches watched a little bit what they could find online, but really just looking at stats and getting whatever information you can get from box scores and whatnot, but they're pretty diligent with that.
Queensland are defending champions. They won earlier this year, convincingly.
Yeah, we knew that going into it. We thought this game and maybe one more were going to be our toughest two, and kind of was shuffling the roster around knowing that going into it.
And you gave your ace to South Australia yesterday. That wasn't very nice to put your best team against the host state.
Oh yeah, yesterday we had Ashley Croft, one of our returning pitchers, did a great job coming in and throwing strikes, and now Hannah Kelly's following in her shoes.
A double to Jessica Road has cashed in the first run of the ball game, but bases have been loaded twice. 6 runners left on base for ETBU in the first 2 innings, and they'll regroup down the first base sideline, and they're putting pressure on. Now they just got to bang one home. Ashley Croft, Sydney Green, and Hannah A. Kelly Hack, as you've now revealed her nickname to us, due up. So Ashley Croft, she pitched yesterday. Tell us more about Ashley.
Yeah, so Ashley is a senior. transfer to ETBU from University of Texas Tyler, and like I said, been an anchor on the pitching staff the last 2 years, and really excited to see what she's doing this year as her senior year. We'll have 1 year of eligibility left, so working on her to see if she wants to stay and play her last year, maybe get a master's degree. Because of COVID, a lot of our athletes have that extra year of eligibility, so she's still trying to decide what that looks like, but really looking forward to her having a great senior year, and really added in as our DP, getting some extra ABs here, which is down the mound, getting to bat for us.
Some of these athletes should make some close friends with some people, whoever they meet in the softball community here in Australia. As Croft up the middle. What a play from Taylor Evans. She's done it again. In the last inning, it was to her right to throw a runner out at home. And that ball just, the glove's a magnet right now.
4 great plays in the game, Eric. 2 in the first inning. An amazing diving play in the backhand side to get the force runner out at the plate. And a sharp chance up the middle.
Got 2 great shortstops in the game today with Tristan Maddox for ETBU, All-American, NCAA All-American. Had a great year as a freshman, sophomore for us, and then, shortstop you guys have there.
And she made those 2 great plays to end the second and to start the third, and now Taylor Evans, not to be outdone, is saying, hold on right here. Sydney Green up to bat.
This diamond has seen its fair share of quality shortstops in the South Australian Premier League.
Yeah, I think our girls were a little apprehensive coming in. We play on artificial turf at our field back home, and you got all good hops on the artificial turf. When you get out here, you get a hard dirt, hard bounces, but we had a few little miscues early on by the girls in the game yesterday, but the girls seem to be adapting well.
I have a semi-regular conversation with the state government about getting artificial turf for this field, because you can't play on it in winter when it gets cold or wet and muddy, and we've had a couple of rainouts as well this season.
So, yeah, it would have been helpful.
Yeah, would love to get artificial.
Hannah A. Kelly steps up to bat. Been in the program a couple years, Hannah A. Kelly?
Yes, sir. Yes. No, this Hannah Kelly is actually a freshman.
Okay.
Freshman just come in this semester.
Well, you're saying, I mean, players like Ashley Croft, they're the ones that need to stay in touch with some maybe new Aussie mates they make. Different clubs from around the country, they'll fly in 1 to 2 players per year to come and live abroad. They set them up in homes, set them up in the community, and they get to play softball to kind of extend their softball careers beyond university.
7 new Americans in the South Australian Premier League this year. Adding to that, we've got Yo Grauer, who was a 4-year player at UCLA. She was a pitcher and in the US Junior Worlds team in an under-19s, and then went and played in her mother's native Sweden in a European Cup. Then came to Australia to try it out down under, as they say, and liked it so much she stayed. Now she's applying for residency, and she played in our national championship team in May this year, and she's as Aussie as they come now.
That's great. I encourage all of our athletes, don't grow up too fast. Don't rush out to get a job and be an adult.
You can use a game to take you somewhere. You may as
see
well
the world
do it.
And see the world and keep that competitive spirit going.
Emma Overlap up to bat. Tell us a bit about Emma.
Emma's also a freshman, I believe from the Houston area, down south of ETBU. Took a class this semester, probably one of the best professors we have at ETBU for our introduction to college class. That was me, I taught that class. So I got to know Emma a little bit this semester in class.
And do most of the students all come from Texas, or can you cross over into the Louisiana state borders as well?
Yeah, it really depends on the sport. Softball team recruits Texas really hard in South Texas. Our football team is really Texas and to Louisiana. Same with baseball. Hockey are all over the world. We've got
Overlap up the middle. This could score the first run of the game. She was getting the wave around, but for the 3rd straight inning, East Texas have loaded the bases. Surely now, right?
Well, Coach Shirley has a niche for getting runners thrown out at home, and her husband at first base, I see, is giving her the eye, like that's the one you got to send her on. So pretty funny. They're having a little good smirk.
Husband and wife coaching team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach Shirley at third base, the head coach. Coach Shirley's the assistant coach and pitching coach.
Brady Glenn, bases loaded. So far, They've had 9 on base, but yet to score a run. Now, it's not necessarily for fault of their own. Some fantastic fielding, in particular for Taylor Evans, the shortstop from Queensland, has shut it down. It's been a high caliber game early on. I think everybody on East Texas would just be hoping the ball doesn't go over to the 6 hole over there.
Keep it away from
Anywhere else.
And keep it out of the wind. This wind's crazy today.
Oh, wow. This ballpark, it gets nuts down here. Oh my goodness.
Every school's got a rival, right? Who's yours?
You know, I would say overall for most sports, it's probably University of Mary Hardin Baylor down in Belton, Texas. Something that's been a very competitive program and top to bottom in all their sports. And they've matched up well with us in softball the last few years. Previously, University of Texas Tyler, which is about an hour away, but they moved up a Division II to a Division II. And we've had some old historical rivalries over the years, but I would say, you know, going forward from most sports, it's definitely University of Mary Hardin Baylor.
And you're the Tigers. What's their
They're
mascot?
the Crusaders, and they're located just north of Austin, about 45 minutes.
Ball down low, so that'll be the first run of the game. A patient at bat from Brady Glenn. It's going to count as an RBI to her name. And finally, ETBU have a run on the board after loading up the bases. They remain loaded though. And Braylon Buchanan up to bat with Tristan Maddox, a very dangerous hitter, lurking right behind her. So this will be a huge opportunity.
Infield's come right in here for the little lefty. Trying to protect that runner. The outfield's in as well. Get a nod of approval from Super Coach Lee Hull to my left. Ryan Irwin, Athletic Director at ETBU. You're going to be till the end of this inning, and then we're going to have another guest.
Yeah, I think Malaya Taylor's going to come on board, former player for ETBU softball. Came into ETBU, played a significant role the last couple years, and now moved into a retiree position, finishing up her degree and looking to stay at ETBU and get a master's degree in communication. And done some play-by-play work for us with volleyball and basketball this year. I know he's planning on doing some of that with softball, kind of helping with some of our social media on this trip. So awesome young lady with a great story and a lot of great experience with softball. Don't let her take you guys' job here on the booth.
Well, Lee wouldn't be happy with that. No, his job's safe. His job's safe. He's our stalwart here, and you'll hear his voice throughout the rest of the week on the 3 o'clock games, and then he'll feature during the final series. Eric, though, unfortunately, this is his last game for this tournament. He's got commitments with the baseball.
Who's the baseball team you got?
Adelaide Giants, they're called.
And who are they playing?
Playing the Perth Heat. Another walk, another run. It makes it a 2-1 game. Yep, so I'll do all the games for the baseball.on-demand platform, and then there's a couple games being put on some of the independent leagues channels this weekend in the United States. So yeah, it'll be a good one. But there's some high caliber players that coming in. If you're from the Texas area, you'd recognize the name Josh Reddick, 12-year big league pro. He plays for the Perth Heat.
Okay.
Pete Cosma, another World Series winner with the St. Cardinals.
From Tulsa, Oklahoma. I know Pete. I didn't realize he was there.
Well, he'll be here tomorrow.
Okay,
I'll say hi.
Let's go talk to him. I saw one of the banners over there. Brandon Bantz played a few years ago here. I went to the same university he went to. I was the athletic director there, and he was a player. Got drafted, bounced around, came here, and then got called up with the Seattle Mariners and played in the big leagues with the Mariners. So I saw his banner yesterday. I took a picture and sent it to him. Pretty cool. Yeah,
we'll have to have a chat after the broadcast about some of this stuff. But Tristan Maddox, you said All-American.
Yes, sir. All-American shortstop. Last year as a sophomore, and just a great player for us. Not only defensively, but offensively. Batting lead off today for us, and kind of setting the trend for us throughout the tournament, and be someone we'll really lean on going into the year.
Bottom half of the order getting it done for ETBU in this game.
Well, every player in the lineup has been on base now, and we're still in the bottom of the third. No errors in the game. It's all really been walks and hits. And then Taylor Evans robbing a few extra hits over at shortstop. Wow. There's that bat speed. Got around to it quickly. That was off like a cannon. Runner at third, and Emma Overla had to kind of duck out of the way of a warning shot from her own teammate.
Ryan, tell us a little bit about Coach Shirley. One of my favorite coaches in the NCAA is Oklahoma's coach, Patty Gasso. Just ruthless, relentless, goes about her job so well. Absolute professional in the sport. And tell us about Coach Shirley. Is she a career coach?
Yeah, so she came to ETBU from a junior college and grew up in West Texas, came to ETBU, played, started working as an assistant coach, worked her way up, took over the program, and really put the program on the map. Her just drive for excellence and consistency is very evident with all of her players, how they keep the locker room, how they travel. Travel on these trips when you're traveling with 30, 40 college students internationally, it can be hectic, but not with ETBU softball. And I think Coach Shirley gets a big credit to that. And she's all about winning games. She wants to win championships and that. But at the end of the day, it's about investing in the lives of these young women and preparing them for life after college and helping them to get their degree, but preparing them to be mothers and wives, teachers, nurses, whatever they're called to be. Her job is to use the sport of softball to help them do that. And so what a great career she's had at ETBU, won the national championship 2010, 9 straight NCAA playoff appearances, and continues to recruit some of the top players in the country that want to come be a part of a pretty spectacular program.
Nice resume. Pretty good, huh? One of my other favorite coaches is Mike White, a former softballer from New Zealand, a world champion player through the ISC competition as well. Was at Oregon for a while and then went to Texas. He always does that at the end of his interviews.
Yes, the hook 'em horns.
That's what he says.
That's right, yeah. Patty Gasso and Mike, big rivals there, Texas and Oklahoma, but both done great for softball in the United States. And to just see the popularity of softball and the College World Series every year in Oklahoma City with the softball team is really awesome to see how it's blown up and continues to grow. And Oklahoma's been so dominant over the years. And I believe down at Baylor University in Waco, we've got a coach there that played in Australia, I believe, fast pitch.
Tristan Maddox on a lengthy at-bat finally pops up, but they can't find it in the SA Sun. Queensland couldn't find it. They couldn't make the tag at home. Runners will hold up at third. It's scored a run. We've seen this on the field before. The water right behind us. It's westward facing. And Kiana Hanare and Hannah Liggett just could not quite find that ball that was popped straight up in the air.
Wow, I just looked to my left. Official is a hit on that one because none of the fielders got to it. Lost it in the sun, so it'll go down as an RBI. So damage limited to just one, even on the overthrow.
On an 8-pitch at bat, where Tristan Maddox just was a tough customer at the plate, fouled a few away.
I think the Tigers got lucky there. Even the ball dropped, they were forced out at third base that just didn't get dug out of the dirt there and rolled to the backstop, and luckily another run didn't score.
Delaney Loya up to bat, and she pounded the softball last time she was up to bat.
I think she's got 3 doubles in 3 games.
Is that good?
2 yesterday off the fence here, so I know she was hoping to get one over today, but I don't know what's happened with this wind.
And 230-foot fences as well.
And there she goes. She scoops at one. It's an awkward play. Kiana Hanare just escaped her grasp. 1 run is scored. 2 runs is scored. She's going to try to clear them all. It's going to be a bases-clearing triple for Delaney Loya. She saw those doubles and said, I can do one better. Clears them all and busts this ball game open.
Right on cue, Ryan talked her up. She was 2 for 4. In her first game, 2 for 3 earlier today. Timeout's being called.
Another All-American from last year. As a freshman, she was a freshman last year, All-American, and you can tell.
And it's a 6 spot now for East Texas in this inning. They lead this game 6-1. How's the team spirit in the dugout? They've been one of the more lively bunches that have come around this tournament so far.
I don't know if that's just softball in America, but it's my daughter plays 10U softball, and it starts at a young age with the chants and the screaming and excitement. It really makes the game fun. And I was worried about it after traveling 48 plus hours to get here. They may be a little dead on the first couple of games, but I guess their jet lag so bad they're waking up early, and play a night game may be a different story.
Yeah, they're wired 11:30 at night, right? Middle of the night.
Right.
It's a midnight softball being played. Under the lights. Well.
And is there a fan base back home that'll be watching this game, do you think?
I think so. Like as I mentioned earlier, it's 10:30 p.m. when this game started. So I hope we had a few stay up late. All the college students are done with classes until the spring, so they have no reason to go to bed early.
Exams done?
Exams are done. Finished up last Thursday, so hopefully we have a good group watching. And I know many of our staff members are watching back home, and we sent out the link today to several through social media.
Torin Cummins. Ooh, that looked painful. Fouls one off her toe. What does a Texas Christmas traditionally look like? I know it's a lot different from Canada to Australia, and This all just has to do with the weather, to be totally honest.
You know, we left Texas, it was 80 degrees. I think today the high was 40 there today, or 50 today. It was in the 40s. So never know what you're going to get. Marshall, Texas has something called Wonderland Lights. That's where ETBU is located. Downtown, decorated with a big courthouse. They put an outdoor ice skating rink there. And that's always interesting in Texas because one week it may be slushy, the next week it could be good and frozen. But our hockey team does some clinics there and throughout the season. And so it's we're excited for Christmas. We usually don't have to worry about snow, but I hear there's a chance some parts of Texas may get snow next week, and we're just hoping we get home before that hits.
You folks are gonna love the Lobathal lights going up there on Saturday. It's a cool experience, and it, I think unique to a lot of places in Australia, to be totally honest.
We're excited about it.
Cummings, hard hit ball to right field. Moving into it was Tamika Harris. It didn't cash in a run. Over at third, Delaney Loya was just holding off just in case, so it's going to be runners on the corner. There's still one out. Ashley Croft was the first out of the inning, and since then the next 8 have all reached, and they put up 6 runs. So Ashley Croft, the senior, the only person to be out so far here in the third inning.
5 hits and 3 walks.
She's been the toughest out of the lot.
Score check on the score bug is 6-1. The scoreboard out at Centerfield also is just behind by 1, but that's okay. We got it right now.
Hard hit ball over to third. It bounced off of Savannah Ritter. Another run scores, and well, Ashley Croft, to be honest, she was robbed of a base hit on her first time up to bat. It was just Taylor Evans who moved over, made that nice play. Savannah Ritter made a good attempt at it.
Official is an error on the play.
That's a tough rule there. I think she's more protecting herself than anything. That ball was rocketed at her.
That would have been a pretty spectacular play if she was able to scoop that one up and retain the run. But a 7-run explosion here for East Texas, who this is not the first time they've done that in this tournament. They have woken up in a big way. They left the bases loaded in the first and second inning as well.
Put some big numbers up in a couple of the innings as well. So, you know, when one of them catches fire, they all seem to. So seems like it's contagious from the team.
Yeah, offensively, we knew going into this season we had a lot of options, and Coach Shirley had some difficult decisions going into the year of, you know, who's going to play where, because we got a lot of hitters. We actually have 3 players back home that have been our best hitters the last couple of years that didn't travel on the trip, so they'll be fighting for starting positions as well. So it's a good problem to have, but I'm glad I'm not in that decision-making process.
You get to watch it.
That's
You just get to sit with some popcorn and
critique it if it didn't work out well.
It's a good point you made. Maybe I missed it if you've mentioned it, but 30 players here?
Yes, sir.
And how many can you have in a roster during a season?
So there's no limit. NCAA is really whatever the university wants to pay for to travel and ride the bus and hotels for different road trips. So
we have like a Div 2 team play in another competition, or?
We've done that with some sports, just where they'll play some other teams, but with softball it just really hadn't worked out. With our numbers, we've been able to really manage it where we get enough opportunities for everybody on the team, and it's gone well. So more excited. You know, you have injuries come up and different things where the roster changes throughout the year, but we don't have a limit per game like we have today with the 16. So if we figure out a way to get all 30 in a game, we can do it.
Koval Mater has come in relief of Solomon Eric, so the first change, surprised that it's come after 7.
Yeah, they
maybe a little earlier.
Yep, probably a bit earlier. 7 runs though on the board, and East Texas has been pressing all game long. Flared foul once again. All of these at-bats are lengthy too. This Tiger team making the Queensland pitchers work pretty hard. And now it's been a while since Hannah R. Kelly has thrown a pitch. She's got 4 strikeouts on the day. She's been cruising along.
Hannah's mom is watching the game, so hello back from in Central Texas to Hannah's mom, and I've got a few other folks that have reached out and said tell them hi. Laurie Harrington, my former secretary, and mother of our first base coach, mother-in-law of the third base coach, is watching as well. So staying up late, and we appreciate you guys being there.
Well, just looking at the comments on the Facebook live stream as well. If you're watching from Texas, say hi. Tell us where you're watching from, and we might give you a little shout out. We don't normally do that, but
and don't critique me if I've said misspoke on anything.
Sydney Green still battling away. What an onslaught here.
Well, they were looking likely loaded bases in the first 2 innings, where they've compiled 5 hits, and then in this inning another 5 hits in 7 runs. Do you play a run rule?
We do. And I think there's a run rule in this tournament as well.
7 after 4.
7 after 5, 10 after 4, and 15 after 3. I think that's the international or the World Baseball Softball Confederation rules.
Hard hit ball. Ooh, that goes right off the pitcher. That's going to sting a little bit. A nice work, though, from Siren Letizia to scoop up the ball, step on the bag. Runners will advance to 2nd and 3rd, and they'll just make sure she's all right in the circle. The second out of the inning, though, they've got the 4 batter, they've got the 5 batter out, just not in order. They had to wait. 9 people coming to the plate in between outs.
12th batter of the inning.
Hannah A. Kelly steps up to bat. Still a couple runs. And the dugout marking up again. This is a big shot to center field. Leggett has it go over her head. She's cashed in 2 runs. Hannah A. Kelly flying around 2nd and slides into 3rd. She's called out, but what a cracking shot from Hannah A. Kelly. She scores 2 more runs to ensure that every single player in the ETBU lineup scores in that inning. It's a 9 spot. A double couldn't be stretched into a triple. And it is.
Let's have a look at the Eastern replay here. The center fielder, Leggett, got the throw into the cutoff, quick smart, and then a nice play to end it. So although 2 runs scored off the bat of Kelly, it was a good little play from the Queensland defense as well. We've got to remember there's 2 teams out there playing today, you guys.
I mean, wow. A 9-run inning where that doesn't happen often, right? Every single player on your roster scores a run in the starting lineup in the same inning.
I think I'm good luck on the mic here.
And on that note, for Queensland viewers, we're going to say goodbye to Ryan Irwin. No, we will wrap it up because we want to bring in
Malaya.
So thank you so much for your time, Ryan, Athletic Director at ETBU. Your team is very welcome here in Adelaide, and if you want to come back, stay in touch.
We will. We've enjoyed our visit. We appreciate the hospitality of everyone, and the tournament's been great, and we're really excited the rest of our trip here, and appreciate you guys having me on today.
Love it. Let's get Malaya on here. Thank you very much for joining us. But 9 runs scored by East Texas, and we knew they were a powerful team with the bats, James, and they, boy oh boy, just showed it versus Queensland right there.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm not surprised, but I'm shocked just at the power through the entire lineup. And They're all contributing, as you mentioned. Every one of the 9 players scored in that inning.
What an unbelievable trip that these athletes are on.
There we go. Got a couple of people watching from Texas there.
We said Texas, not Kentucky Sandy Beavers, but we'll give you a shout out anyways. Cheryl Tamburello, Carolyn Broderick from Hervey Bay. That's basically the Texas of Australia, right? Far North Queensland?
Queensland is the Texas of Australia. It's the biggest state, right?
It is
no,
the biggest
WA is
state.
the biggest
No,
state. What am I
WA,
saying?
You're right. Yep.
Well, Alaska's the biggest state in America, isn't it? So
Not the best state, though, because the best state is, in fact, Tasmania.
What?
Nice shot up the middle to the...
Not up the middle, down the left
off
side.
the middle of the bat, down the left side.
Wow, some of these big hits in this game from both teams probably go over in a college facility. Their fences are around about 200.
Certainly would go over in the fully loaded competition.
Yeah, where we play at 180-foot fences. Don't write off Queensland just yet. They've managed to put some big scores on the board. We already mentioned it earlier in the show that they scored 13 runs in the last few innings to run over the top of South Australia, who had a 6-run lead against them. Pop up to shortstop, and Maddox takes a comfortable catch. It was Maddox was one of the players with an RBI, probably a little bit unfortunate for the Queensland defence, who got lost in the sun when she come up to the plate. So not much going right for Queensland in the first half of, or the last half of the third inning. Here we are in the top of the third, and guys, I'm going to leave you with Malaya from East Texas as she comes in. Oh, Eric, you're going to take a little break. Lee, it's been spectacular action so far.
It certainly
in
has.
the game.
And we expected this, didn't we? After what we've seen earlier on in the tournament between these two sides, they can all hit.
Malaya Taylor is joining us here. She's the Sports Media Information Officer.
Yes.
At ETBU. Ryan Irwin, who is the athletic director, dobbed you in, said you're a former player.
Yes, I was.
And then you've done some play-by-play work yourself.
Yes, I have. This semester I've done a lot.
Smash back to Kelly, who does pretty well to block it with the body and then make the out at 1. So that's 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Yeah, so done some play-by-play work yourself?
Yes, I have. With some volleyball and just starting basketball up right now.
So if you've already completed a degree and you're going to stick around at ETBU for a master's, how many years does that mean that you've been at the college?
So right now this is my 3rd year at ETBU. I'll graduate in May with my bachelor's, and then if I stay and get my master's, I'll stay for another extra year. So 4 total years at ETBU.
And colleges give out scholarships. Were you on scholarship? Are you finished scholarship? Are you what's the arrangement that you've got there at ETBU?
Right. So Division III does not give athletic scholarships, but I have applied for academic scholarships, so I'm under some of that, and that hopefully will apply to some of my master's degree as well.
Back to the top of the order for Queensland. Harari Kurihara hasn't reached yet, but she's
a terrific player, isn't she?
Saw her early in the year, Lee.
Yeah. Look at her leg speed.
Gets it down, but it's a 1-2-3 inning. And ETBU put an exclamation mark on the 9 spot that they put up in the bottom of the 3rd. And 3 quick outs here in the top of the 4th. Malaya Taylor joining us from ETBU. As a player, what position?
I was a catcher.
So the smartest player in the team, of course, Lee.
You may be surprised, but your fellow commentator on your left, James, was a terrific catcher.
Oh, that's
awesome. He probably still rates himself.
That's awesome.
And the we were talking before about a couple of the big hits in this game.
Right.
Probably would have gone over at a college facility.
Right.
What's the distance of your home run fence at ETBU?
I think it's 300, 320.
300.
200.
200.
Excuse
Ours
me.
is 230.
Yes, I think it's 200, not 3.
Okay, 200 foot. So we play a shorter version of the game.
Right.
In our pre-season, we call it fully loaded softball, where bases start loaded. So
Okay.
runners at 1, 2, and 3, and we bring the fences into 180 feet. So just fast, fun, full of action. We play a 3-inning game, run and done in 45 minutes.
Oh,
Good
wow,
fun. Yeah.
that's so cool.
Well, we turn the page and go back to the ETBU lineup and we're overlay. We're getting that right. First pitch swinging to the very talented Evans at shortstop. Another play, Lee.
Terrific players. Both shortstops are excellent players, aren't they?
Well, seeing as you've done some play-by-play, I might get you to call the action.
Oh my goodness.
It's your team. Let's go for it.
Do not get the rhymes wrong.
I know. All right. So we have Glenn up to bat here. Taking the first pitch to the shortstop. And that'll be an out for Glenn. Another play by the shortstop.
Yeah, Taylor Evans.
There's been a few.
So Coach Shirley, husband and wife team, we just found out.
Yes.
And will they be looking to recruit perhaps a player for another season, or do you guys just recruit within house throughout the states and mostly in Texas?
Throughout this, we have one girl from California actually right now playing on the team, but mainly throughout just the states. In Texas, I'd say.
Braylon Buchanan.
Yes, she's a freshman. Really fast. Bunt to the third baseman, and that'll be the third out of the bottom of the fourth.
Well, both teams defensively soundly. 3 up, 3 down for both teams.
Certainly no hitting those 2 innings, or two halves making 1 complete innings.
Yeah, we'll go to the 5th inning. It is 9-1 in favour of East Texas Baptist, and we're in run rule territory. We're 3 outs away.
Right.
So short and sharp game if they can close this out. Tell us, Coach Shirley's speaking with the plate umpire Steve Wallace-Yarrow, who's our state umpiring chief here in South Australia.
Okay, awesome.
They're making some changes. I could see a new pitcher coming out. Tell us, can you tell them who they are from here?
Yes, so the pitcher coming in is Cassidy Cravey. She's a sophomore. Had very little experience last year as a freshman on the mound, but can move the ball pretty well on both sides of the plate. Her spin is what can get most batters most of the time.
Well, when you're leading 9 runs to 1, it's a good time to come in
Yes.
and throw your arm over, or
Yes,
under,
sir.
in our case, under.
Well, 9-1 against the defending champions. You guys must feel like that you're playing against some quality, but at the same time, it's good signs that you're dominating, because you beat the home state yesterday, the
Yes.
South Australian team, and this morning you had a nice win as well. So what's the feeling like in camp? Are you quietly confident for the remainder of your games here?
Yes, sir, I definitely think so. I think we came in here, had the mindset of serving, of course, on this mission trip, but we knew we had to get some business taken care of here on the field, and we came in with confidence and just ready to go. So I'm hopeful that that's how it will be the rest of the week.
And we were talking to athletic director Ryan Irwin before, and he gave us some insight on the mission trip that you guys are on, and how fortunate he's been to go around the world, basically.
Yes.
With East Texas. Is this your first trip?
Yes, my first time actually been out of the country as well. Like, I've never been out of America until just a few days ago.
And he said you went the long way.
Yes.
Through the UK,
Very long
Manchester, Singapore.
Yes.
Just off the end of the bat.
Some.
From Hanare, and a good catch at second base by Lawyer for the first out. The wind has just picked up.
Oh my goodness.
And we've just lost our cover, Lee.
Yes, I noticed, James. Probably better to wind it up.
Wow, just a massive gust of winds just blown through the broadcast area, and papers going everywhere. The game continues, so we soldier on here. 9-1, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning, and 2 outs away here, ETBU.
Yep.
Brooke Stewart played for South Australia earlier in the year. Lee, I'll leave it with you for a sec.
Thank you, James. Well, you go and do some repairs.
Leia just doing some socials there.
Yes.
What, Snapchatting someone back home, maybe?
Just took a selfie for the memories, you know?
Jammed up, but a single up the middle for Stewart. That's her 2nd hit of the game. Keeping the game alive for Queensland. That's a milk bottle, we call it. Some candy, some Australian candy that Lee's offered you.
I've never tried one.
Well, the price was right. It was given to us, so
Thank you.
never look a gift horse in the mouth, they say. That's an Australian terminology, I think.
Well, yeah,
You haven't heard that before?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
What's a gift horse, Lee?
I'm not here. I'm just here to tell the jokes, not explain them. Come on.
Jessica Road, who hit the RBI for Queensland. It gave him the lead, didn't it?
It was a great shot, wasn't it?
Long ball to left field. Some nice social media commentary about Jess Road as well. So although we're asking our East Texas viewers to make comment, we've seen some Queenslanders comment as well. So always giving back and to the younger players coming through. So base on balls for Jess Road. So you made sure that you sent out this link to some folks back home, is that right?
Yes, I think it was already set up to be sent out, so.
And what have you heard back from the families watching back home? Have you heard much yet?
I haven't personally, but I've heard some feedback from the people I work with at ETBU Sports Marketing. So they're watching and tuning in, listening up.
Well, I hope they're enjoying the coverage. We bring you the footage thanks to Spacequake Sports and Softball SA every Wednesday night and Saturday afternoon during the season. So if you become a fan of our pages, this one's hit through the 3-4 hole, and back-to-back, or 3 hitters in a row reaching 2 hits and a walk. So Queensland not wanting to go down quietly here, putting up a fight. Yeah, so we've got a little over 8,000 likes on our page, and about 8.5 million views on our Facebook videos alone. You can see the Spacequake Sports YouTube page as well. But we've had some great highlights. We had an American pitcher, Katie Sutherland-Finch, come to Adelaide. She played out of Cal University. Is that Berkeley? And she had a 1.3 million view video. These two on my left called the game 18 batters, 18 strikeouts.
Wow.
I just have a quick question here, James, and this is some tournament strategy for yourself and Lee. First tiebreaker in the tournament is what? Is it runs against?
Yeah, that's right. So the ladder position.
You are playing 9-1 right now, and you know that if you score a couple runs here, it extends the ball game. Do you almost hold off on scoring runs and a bit of a gamesmanship here, knowing that runs against count, knowing that if you do another inning, no more runs can cross the plate for East Texas, so it can't be worse than 9? Or do you try to keep piling it on, trying to come back, knowing it's late in the ball game and 8 runs is a hard one to get up there? I'm going to leave you with that question and give it to Lee.
Well, I'm going to go first, Lee. I'm not here to lose games, and I'm sure Queensland have the same mindset. They'll be in it to win it all the way to the end. But Eric's point, for a strategic coach would definitely come to mind.
It's a very valid point, yeah, so that is, I can't disagree with it. I think he's got a real major point there.
So
But
if
we'll
they
know,
keep
won't we?
going and,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
high risk, high reward,
Yeah.
they go for the win, they could be looking at another 9 spot in the inning if East Texas bats are running hot.
That's right, so it's a toss of the coin, isn't it, really?
I would say it's, yeah, for sure.
Fly ball out to the right side. Look, I think that catch was taken, but the umpires are all looking at each other here. What do we call for that one? It was in foul territory, so the runners will have to go back regardless, but the catch was not completed, Lee?
No, I don't think it was. I mean, there used to be a rule that you used
Let's
to
have a
have
look at the
to...
Eastern replay.
Yeah. Oh, it's tough call,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's
It almost looked like Green,
Yeah.
the first baseman, like when she was running towards it, knocked out of her glove.
Yeah, it's there used to be a rule, as I was saying, that you had to physically take the ball out of your glove to put, so you could run off, catch the ball at left field, run in the dugout, and the umpire will not call out until you take the ball out.
Yeah.
So, and I think that still applies, like as in the subsequent play. So when you catch the ball and then you take it out like that, well, that's still
Showing,
a catch.
like,
Yeah,
showing
that's
the
right.
possession, for
if
sure.
it falls out, then it's not out.
Right.
And I think that's what they've ruled on.
Base on balls will score a run. Timeout called. Coach Shirley comes out for a chat, and other Coach Shirley comes out. Is that they're both Coach Shirley? Is
So
it-
the Miss Coach Shirley, and then we call her husband Coach Guy. His first name's Guy, so Coach Guy.
Guy Shirley.
Yes. Looks like they're bringing in Tony, a sophomore pitcher as well, who's had more experience on the mound this past season, coming in as a closer pitcher most of the time.
Number 2 coming in. Don't see her on the list, but
No.
doesn't mean that she's not on there. It's, we've only got a limited number of spaces on our list. So
Yeah, that's it.
So what can you tell us about Tony? You've just mentioned that she's sophomore.
Yes.
And for those that don't know,
Sorry.
sophomore, second year of university or
Yes, I'm
college?
so sorry, yes. Second year of university. She was a freshman last year, coming in as a closer pitcher most of the time. Has a really good drop speed, some off-speed strategies here, so looking forward to seeing how she can close out this game, or at least this inning for sure.
All right, in the South Australian Premier League, which you can watch on our Softball SA Facebook page, it's sponsored by CMAX Clinical Research, and we give a CMAX maximum effort player of the game.
Right.
Basically.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it with you. Our guest, Malaya.
Yes, Malaya.
You gave me the. You gave me the way to pronounce your name before, and every time I go for it, Malaya Taylor.
Yes.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to let you pick our player of the game. I've got a little prize for the player of the game. It's the last one we've got left. It's a little
Oh my goodness.
Softball SA clip-on koala.
That is so cute. We definitely have been wanting to see some koalas here in
Okay.
Australia,
All
so
right.
that's a great gift.
So you can either pick out the player of the game and they can have it. Otherwise, you can say they all played well and you can keep it for yourself. It's
Oh,
a little gift
no.
from Softball SA. We're going to do a team photo with Queensland after the
Yeah.
game. We've got a little bag of gifts for your
Okay,
team here as the
um,
play gets hit to second. Double play opportunity to end the game. East Texas Baptist University finish it in style. Have a look at the dugout. They all come out. Well played from both teams. Queensland did not give up without a fight.
Right.
9-2. They've gone down against the Americans. Eric.
Lee just gave me a headset, so I'm just going to say what a great game. Thanks to all our guests for tuning in. But this East Texas team's a bit of a wagon.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple more games to go in this tournament, but this is their one and only live stream game. So what are your thoughts? You can close the game off here. You can let us know. We're going to do a team photo, so let's make it quick. Let's wrap it up, and
you take us home.
Okay, all right. Well, thank y'all so much for having us here in Australia. It's been an awesome experience so far. Great softball. I'm Malaya Taylor, and I'm signing out here in Australia. Thank y'all.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I just signed out.
Anybody, relatives.
Are we clear?